Makita SDS drilling for repair. There's a DHR242, it must be, brushless SDS drill. Customer says it runs and it works, but it keeps shutting down on its own. Running here now. It's run for a little while, then it just shuts down. Generally, that's either going to be a switch or a field, or a wee bit of wiring, maybe broken wire somewhere. That'll generally be around the battery contacts, but it's not stopping when you move the batteries. So I'd imagine it's either going to be a switch or a field. Generally, that's the stator. Strip it down here and see which it is. Generally, a switch will cause other trouble as well. Sometimes it'll not start up at all, or the actual variable speed won't work. But if these get a lot of hard work, they're abused a wee bit too much, the actual stator can heat up itself, and that can heat the windings and the stator, and causing it to increase the resistance. Whenever the machine runs, it requires extra amps from the battery for it to run. If it takes too many amps to run, the controller inside will shut it down. So that could be what's going on here. Stator looks okay. The wiring looks okay. Yeah. There we go. See the rubbing on the armature of the rotor. The rotor is actually a permanent magnet. There's no energy going to the actual rotor itself. This is like an opposite to a brush machine. On a brush machine, the power goes to the armature itself, or the rotor, and a stator is actually a permanent magnet. Brushless machine is reversed. Stator takes the energy, the rotor is a permanent magnet. So that one there has been rubbing. What's been causing it to rub? A wee bit discoloured. Yeah, I would say it is the stator. Windings are a wee bit darkened. They're not black, but also you can see there they've actually heated up enough that the segments have actually melted the plastic and slater for the windings. Done that all the way around. So it's the stator that's at fault. So that machine was getting used and abused. Either ran for too long or for doing a job that it really wasn't designed for. And it's been overworked and overheated. To the point now where the stator has gotten too hot, and the increased temperature has caused the resistance and the windings to increase. So copper can actually be work hardened. If you keep bending it back and forth, it'll become brittle and snap. So if you take a piece of copper and you bend it back and forth a few times, it actually becomes brittle and easier to break, and will eventually snap off. That's from work hardening. The heat it generates when you bend it actually work hardens the copper, makes it more brittle, but it also increases its resistance. So the work hardening here is done by heat. You mightn't be bending it, but overloading it and drawing too much current and run the machine for too long causes this to heat up. The heat and the windings then increases the resistance of the copper. So the next time the machine is used, it takes extra current to actually run the machine. So the battery's drawn more power to get this to run compared to when it was brand new. So now it's come to the point, anytime you use the machine, draws a couple of holes, it's then too much current, it's getting too hot, or else it's already drawn too much power. And the controller itself realizes there's too many amps been drawn through, and it shuts the machine down. That's what you'll get when you pull the trigger. It'll run for a few seconds, maybe even start drilling a hole, it'll just shut down completely. That's what it could be there. Burnt up stator. You can actually get these totally blackened as well, completely melted. But that one's gone, needs to be replaced. But luckily, this being a Makita, you don't have to replace all this to fix it up. A lot of brands, whole rotor, switch, controller, stator, battery terminals, they'd all be one part. But a Makita's different, especially this one. You can actually just pop off the stator. And replace that on its own. You can pick one of these here up for about 30 or 40 euro. Stick it on, the machine will run again, no problem. Beat spending nearly 150 euro or 200 euro on a new controller. Wouldn't be worth it anyway. Or even just having to buy a new machine just for one part. See if I have one of these in stock now, see if we can fix it up. There we go. One stator. You can see the colour difference. This one has starting to burn a wee bit. So this should cure our problem. Makita don't just supply the parts and then make it difficult to fit. Makita supply the parts and make it very easy to fit. Even colour coded terminals so you don't mix up which way they go. The way this goes on, that's sitting in there. All these wires go to this side. And the wires for the stator actually come out this side here. Take them through this hole. And as well, orientation. There's two little notches out of the plastic housing down here. Only one on this side. So two locate down into here. So you can't fit this wrong, it has to go on the right way. So they're going to drop in there. Just match up your colours. I'm taking off these wee spade connectors also. They don't just pop off. There's a little spring just there to push in that wee spring to release that spade connector. It's an extra wee lock as well to keep it locked into place. You just push on. That's your stator reinstalled. Now you just need to get everything back in again. First off, slide your controller onto place. It's just sitting down here. And start with the wee fine wires for your switch. Tuck them down and actually have tape on them for where they're held in place, just in case they would wear through. Poke them down in there. And the same up here. We've got a black tip to help prevent them from wearing. Battery terminals just hang out this hole here. Push your stator. Push your controller all the way in. These here are actually pickup port for a dust extractor that you can fit onto this machine. So these wires can just come straight up here and loop back down again. And this thing just pushes in there. This little connector. Push it all the way to the bottom. Rotate it all the way down. Drop it into place. There's a spring down in here already installed, and it's just grabbing this wee arm here sticking out. So all you need to do is just make sure she's rotated down and push. And that puts it into place. And your stator then leads just bend up here. Around here into place. Your leads then are going to just sit there. Your stator will lock into place. Now the only other thing that's going to throw you is this little piece here that dropped out. Wee things like this here can just confuse you for a little while, trying to figure out where they go. This caught me out the first time I opened one of these things. Couldn't figure out for the life of me where this went. All it's for is for levering open this wee contact block. Lift this up. Got a wee chamfered side here that faces down. Just drop it in there, and that's where it sits. Simple as that. Just a wee thing to confuse you if you're ever having to open and put one of these back together again. Not that it would matter that much if you left it out. Most people don't use the dust extraction. Everything else can go together as one piece. Just make sure the stator is located into them two pins underneath. Another thing, just make sure your trigger assemblies together. You have a separate trigger, separate lever, and a forward reverse lever. Make sure your trigger is actually working before you close it up. Sometimes this lever can get pulled out. The three have to be put in correctly together for it to actually work. If you put this back to front, the trigger won't go. Just make sure that wee leg on the forward reverse switch is facing back the way. And that should cure this problem. And also a little metal pin here and a rubber roller just for helping your battery slide in and out. Make sure that is installed. Finish that off. And this wee battery retainer, most people think this is a fault. I think it's broken because it's moving around. You can see when it's putting together, there's two actual rubber bushings holding this on, so this is actually fitted loose. So Makita fit these here to tools that actually vibrate an awful lot, like a nut gun, SDS drill, things like that there. So whenever the battery's installed and this thing's hammering, the vibrations of it aren't causing the contacts and the battery to move and short out, causing it to arc and burn away the contacts. The battery then moves along with the contacts like this, so you don't destroy batteries, you don't destroy your contact bar. Helps keep the tool working for a lot longer. There we go. Now, give her a wee test out. Make sure she's boring holes right. like butter. Look at that, lads. Slicing through it like butter. That's her. Up and ready to run again. One Makita DHR242 with a new stator. For a €50 repair, it's well worth it. And for €30 or €40, you could easily fit it yourself. Not a difficult job. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a wee like and a follow there if you're enjoying the content.